AI marketing is not a thing that you buy. It's a constantly evolving system of what do you want to solve in your company? Is AI a way to solve it better, faster, cheaper?
All businesses are different. It's important to clarify and to really hone in on what you need and what it's going to do for you.
Right? So is AI going to be able to commoditize you because you just want AI to take care of it?
Anyways, you're always going to need that human in the middle that's making a sound decision, I think.
This is AI Marketing Experts, where bold marketers and next-gen AI collide. Each week, join us as we decode trends, test tools, and share real wins from the AI-powered front lines. No fluff, no hype, just straight talk and smarter marketing. Tap subscribe and let's geek out on AI.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to AI Marketing Experts. I'm Jen Krigo with Margo AI Receptionist, and I'm here today with my amazing co-hosts, the whole group here. So today we're talking about AI marketing, like what does that even mean? What is it? How much should it cost? Like, it's a big can of worms. So we're jumping into it. So who wants to start us off and kick things off right?
I'll jump in because it really dovetails. If you didn't watch last week's, go back and watch last week's. We were talking about the scams in the industry because AI is now gone mainstream. It's new to you, maybe. It's, old to us, maybe 4 years plus and counting. And maybe you jumped in early, but AI marketing is not a thing that you buy. It's like, so it's a constantly evolving system of what do you want to solve in your company? Is AI a way to solve it better, faster, cheaper? And then, what does it cost? Well, there's no it. So what are you talking about? It's right now, it's still custom to, do you want to own it yourself? Do you want to have somebody else? Do you build it for you? Do you want, who's maintaining it? We're going to break all that down because really we're going to hope you walk away with at the end of this episode is understanding that how do you determine what AI in your marketing specifically, well, what is it? How does it fit in? Where can you start adapting it? And when should you buy an enterprise level tool versus an in-house solution? And then, what would that then cost? What would you be looking at in purchase and upkeep costs? So that's kind of in a nutshell, let's tear it apart and see if you can get some clarity on that endpoint.
I think John brings up some good points. And I think that's what we're going to unpack mainly is what is it? Because all businesses are different. There's a lot of things that could help multiple businesses, a system, so to speak. But I think that it's important to clarify and to really hone in on what you need and what it's going to do for you.
Yeah. And one of the big questions that we get, that I've gotten at least, and is, how much, right? How much does it cost? And I think that if you keep in mind that AI marketing systems, right? We'll call these all systems because they've gone beyond just, software, or it all depends on exactly what it is, right? What you all were just saying. But I would say a safe range for a decent marketer or marketing company is probably going to be anywhere in between $500, ranging all the way up to, $10,000, depending on what you need per month, right? If you're a nationwide company that is selling, manufacturer that's selling something, you're going to need way more than the local roofing company, right? And so it all just depends on all of that. The other part that I would say it really depends on is what is it trained on?
Yeah.
We talk about that a lot here of making sure that you train your AI systems, but if you train, and I'm going to push a little bit here. A young 18-year-old goes out and says, "Hey, I've built this marketing system, for AI. I'm going to sell it for $100 a month." $200 a month, whatever, is that going to be worth the same as somebody with 25 years of experience in the marketing industry in your niche? Right. So it's the value, it's what you're getting, as well as what actually works for you guys. Right. So I would say it's going to range $500 to $10,000. Who knows? If you're building it out for somebody, if somebody's asking you to build out this system for you, and we've talked about this before in the past also, is it going to be something that's ongoing, right? Meaning that we have to keep it up to date. I would say, yeah, because marketing changes. And when I went to go write my book 6 years ago, it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever had to do, because marketing changes. Like literally by the time you finish a chapter, you're like, oh, well, I got to retake all those screenshots and change everything about it, right? Because it's a constantly evolving thing, marketing by itself, right? So
and then it that we talked about is like, are we talking paid ad optimization? Like AI can help with that, but are you a paid ad specialist? Again, back to your 18-year-old versus a 45-year-old a media buyer who's been working in that niche for 20 years, old school to new school. Are we talking about AEO? So SEO now with the, as I say, everything everywhere all at once. Is it talking to AI plus organic plus maps, tying it all together to your website and all that kind of stuff? Like, are we talking about that? Are we talking about a receptionist that's marketing as well, that answers your phones when you don't, like 24/7? If you guys miss it, I always think human in the loop. But if you miss it, somebody else better than an answering machine is actually triaging those, or after hours and things like that. All of these are AI marketing. Which one are you talking about? Right? Which one do you want? Like, is there an all-in-one system? Well, then, yeah, $10K to set up fee to do it right, and thousands of dollars a month to manage, maintain, and license. And as soon as you don't pay them anymore, it goes away. Like things like HubSpot and all those are sort of kind of building in these things and whatever. All the way to, if you wanted to hire somebody to build that yourself, we know people that audit companies for what AI can help improve in their company for 50 to 60 grand. The build's separate, because it's the same days of Microsoft SharePoint and building do you want your own in-house software solution? And if you go back to the episode with Danny Barrera, do you want to spend $300,000 on an AI solution that tomorrow Google comes up with an answer, comes up with the exact same thing, and the whole project's scrapped like he did last year? Like, there's a lot going into this.
There are so many different levels. And even as we're saying, we're just mentioning a lot of, obvious levels. But now what we are hearing as well is, as agents become more popular, is your website, is your marketing going to attract other AI agents? And how are you going to handle that? So again, that just takes everything up to another level, because are you prepared for it? And it is going to be a different price point. It's going to be a lot more expensive, especially again for the updates, as AI agents are coming and learning about information to take it back to who might have inquired about it. Or are they coming to actually buy? Are they, is there going to be some exchange of coins? However, the exchange will happen. We have to, you're going to have to plan all this out, or say, no, I'm going to stay within this marketing.
I want to interject real quick, and then I want to hear some feedback from Jen. But I've been telling people something similar I've been in the industry about 20 years, and it doesn't matter whether it was AI or whether it was SEO or paid ads or whatever marketing I was talking about. We're talking about an investment here, right? Mm-hmm. So I've always framed it as it's an investment into your company, and there should be an ROI. So think about it this way. If you're doing even something as simple as an AI voice receptionist, let's say it costs you $600 a month for this system. This is the bare bones basic, right? How much of that, if you had to pay a human to come into the office to do these tasks and do these things, you have to give them vacation time, and you have to work around their schedule and perhaps sick days or personalities or bad days or showing up late or all these other things. So I'm pretty sure you could not hire a person in the United States to work for you full time, much less 24/7, for $600 a month and get something of quality. So you have to think about that in the big picture of things. Even if it costs you $3,000 a month, if this investment into your business saves you time, saves you money, replaces things that humans don't have to do, and will simplify the things that the humans in your office are doing, then by all means, it's a good investment.
That's a very good point. Very good point. It's like, to me, if we take away the AI out of AI marketing, then we still have marketing, and we all work with our our different niches, and so we already know that one marketing system, just going to use system, could not possibly be right for every single client that comes to us. One client might need more than the other one. Maybe there's a different focus for someone. So there's different programs for a reason. We have different marketing programs for our clients. And so it's the same thing once we put AI into the marketing. The AI is just part of each of those programs, and it's so to say, how much does it cost, or should it cost, or what is it? Well, like this is much bigger than that. It's marketing is different and nuanced, and
yeah. It's all the stuff you've talked about, Jen. You have to define your brand first, Chris, your master prompt, what your company's all about, who your ideal avatar is, all of that. Can we and should we are big questions that come up as well. Because can we have AI answer our phones? Yes. Are you going to track the numbers to find out if it's a higher booking percentage than a real human or lower? Because that's going to affect the bottom line of your business going forward. So it's still a strategic business decision. Is AI going to commoditize every business, which we should never be the price of pork bellies? If that relates at all to anything Laura does or talks about, I don't know. I just know the ag report at noon on Mondays. But the price of pork bellies, or whatever, that's a commodity, because it's like there's no different. Does this pork have a different belly than that pork? Whatever a pork belly is. But in the world of business, there are better roofing companies. There are better shops. I would pay more for my mechanic than going to a cheaper mechanic, because I love Doug and he does an amazing job, and his rates aren't the lowest. They're not the highest, but it's like if I had a Porsche, I would probably say, bye, Doug, right? And go somewhere else, right? So is AI going to be able to, is it going to commoditize you because you just want AI to take care of it? It's set it aside and be done. Because as I tell all of our clients, the coaching calls I do, the strategy sessions I do, is when you own the business, first and foremost, you're the marketer and chief outreach officer of that business to create sales conversations. Because if you don't market, you either have to get lucky because, your best friend's dad funnels all the work to you because, whatever. Again, that's a problem, because all your work comes from one guy kind of idea. But if you want to run a real business that grows, you market and get better at you grow, you market, you hire marketing companies, you learn marketing, you bring in tools like AI, all that. You stand out in the marketplace, you create brand awareness before you run ads so that the ads work better in a branded environment, that people all know your name and all that kind of stuff. Then you create sales. Now you got to solve the sales problem. Now you got to convert. Now you create conversions to jobs. Now you got to sell a better job, upsell properly. Then you create client retention to build the back end engine and repeats and referrals, and cycle the whole thing around again. So what is AI marketing? What is marketing? You've got to define that first in your business, then decide, is there an avenue where AI will save you time, money, or do it better?
Yeah. And I think so far we've been talking to basically, small businesses out there in America and the world that are like, okay, how do I know? And we talked about that last week about, telling a scammer type, versus a true value, what you're going to get. What about the AI? What about the agencies that are thinking about AI?
Yeah.
Right. What about, because I've got friends that I've talked with recently, and I think I talked about this last week, is that are like, okay, I know I need to get into AI. I know I need to do something, but what do I do? Right. I have no idea where to begin. And so I would say to them, pick your battles.
Yes.
Choose one thing at a time that you want to solve for, and to potentially do either better with AI, more efficiently with the AI, right? Or to give the tools to the people in your team to help them do it better and more efficiently, right? Help multiply that person times 20, 100, okay? Versus completely replace them. Yes, that can be done, but you still, on everything, and this is my advice, is you're going to need humans in the middle, because AI is not always correct, right? We all know that, and it still isn't. To this day, as I work with AI, I'm like, why can't you do that? ChatGPT can do that, right? So anyways, you're always going to need that human in the middle that's making a sound decision, I think. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
Well, I think you bring a great point too, is if you're trying to multiply that person, they are the expert. They've been in position. You have trusted them in that position. So whether you be an agency or a small business owner, for that person, lean on them to say, you are still the expert. We rely on you to make sure that the information that the AI is providing is accurate. When you're looking at whether, I know last week, I think we mentioned QuickBooks and such, if your team member is doing the accounting, ask them, investigate, is those AI tools within the accounting system you're using good, bad? Did it save you the time? Did it save, so have them kind of calculate the return on investment if it's worth keeping. I know that was something else to keep in mind is, as our systems that we've already used prior to AI, all of them seem to be popping up AI somewhere. Yeah. Good, bad, and different. But we need to decide, did it help the team move forward? Did it help the company move forward? Is it worth paying for after the free trial expires? And it's not always the best thing to say, yes, I'm going to go ahead and use this for this purposes, and on this soft system, use that for the other purpose. You may find that whether it be co-work, whether it be Notebook LM, whatever, it might have a lot of those things. So you're only going into one place versus paying for pieces here, there, and everywhere. So definitely take the time. A lot of them have the learning conferences or webinars. Ask the team member that's been in charge of doing your payroll, sit in that, talk to the accounting software. Will it help? And get the feedback of your team member, because they know what they've been doing every day and what it will move forward faster.
Yeah. I think agencies, interesting thought process on that, because I know we have agencies that watch our show as well, and we're friends with a lot of them. What is a marketing agency? Is it that you know how to click buttons to do SEO or pay-per-click ads better than your clients? Or you have, what is it that we've provided as a value? Because it's a constantly changing battlefield anyways. SEO changes every 3 to 6 months in nuanced or big ways. May 8th this year, big ways. Things like that, pay-per-click, and environments change all the time. Does a business owner want to have somebody in charge of that? Like you just said, Laura, there's a cost to that, right? And they have to know that they're staying up on it. Or do they have an agency? As an agency watching this, your job is to, especially niche agencies, but even just in general, if you went downtown to the web design and SEO company, in downtown Wichita, Kansas, probably lovely people, and they work with the plumber and the podiatrist and everybody else in between. They have slightly more expertise than you want to learn, so you hand them that trust to do that. Right now, AI is making the acts of creating content, creating plans, doing the work, all that easier. Agencies need to understand that who they still are is the expert in curating what you just said, Laura. What if there's 20 different pieces of software and 19 are crap and this is the only good one? Because, right, that's a value for an agency to deliver. Can you coach some clients, like Danny Barrera told us on a podcast earlier in the year, he's switching a lot of his contractor click to coaching. some clients just want to do it themselves. Cool. We can support you with that. We can be your sounding board and your resource. So you go do it. You train a team member, you pay that payroll because there's still a real cost to that. You're not saving necessarily a ton, but you need somebody to be the single source of truth to help you get to that point. And as a model changes, are they learning the model update, or do they learn it from their coaching call every single week with his AI implementation coach? Or you say, you know what, I don't even want to do that. You guys do it for me. Okay, we'll stay up on top of that. We suggest this software over that. We suggest this over that. That's the role of an agency. Doesn't go away because, and for anybody who's a small business listening, that's the value you get from an agency that is understanding that they are a constantly adaptable and adapting resource to help you grow your business, but it's still your business. They're not a savior of your business. They're a growth partner helping you grow the business, and AI is just a piece of that.
What I found interesting. Go ahead, Jen.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
Oh, mine's so simple and short. What I found interesting is John says he has friends, and I thought that he bought and paid for all of his friends that were AI bots. He trained them what to do, how to be his friend. So I found that very interesting.
We just got to teach them how to do a concert, Brad, and then we don't even,
That's
just
right.
play, have a live jam for us.
That's right. Go ahead, Jen.
Well, so if we're going to bring this back to AI marketing and the costs of it, or how much it should cost, or what we're charging for it, I'm curious. Do any of you guys have a program or a service that is AI led that you are selling right now? And if so, let's talk about it. How much does it cost? What are you charging for it?
Yeah, I mean, as y'all know, you guys know, I mean, I sell our AI operating system right now for founding members. We're almost to the end of that, right? For $497 a month. Okay, and the AI operating system isn't really just the marketing side of things; it's also sales as well as an executive assistant, right, for the founder. I mean, that's just that side of things. We are considering an AI only program that we're going to be selling for $697 a month, right? That's going to include a lot of the things that we do currently with people doing it, but with AI leading the charge on that stuff. So it helps bring our costs down. We normally sell that for around $2,000 a month for that program. We're passing the savings on to our clients because we can,
Nice.
And
part of that's the client training and knowing that how to do it. Like, I mean, so you're also handing over the team and responsibility to say, hey, I'll give you the system. You can jump on calls, but you're running the machine, not us, right? You're the wizard behind the curtain, not us.
Right.
So is there a value to that? That becomes the big question. So
yeah. Who else selling?
We have America's Best Shops system that similar pricing, starting at $597 for a more basic setup on up to $997 a month. And then we're adding more features in constantly. And we are, like Chris, putting together a full AI operating system as well that does even more than what we currently have. So similar to what Chris is saying. And like you say, there's lots of price ranges. We've had people come to us and say, we'd like something even more elaborate. Can you do that? Well, in most cases we can. It's the old saying of if you can think it, we can probably build it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And for carpet cleaners, we help them out. We started as low as $200 to add in a lead and client nurturing agentic system with a newsletter about the local community and their company and happy customer stories and things like that, plus touch points. Just that point that a lot of cleaners don't do. They can enhance on marketing campaigns with annual reminders and quarterly campaigns that tie into print mail and stuff like that. Obviously a little bit more, plus, but the better way to stay in touch with your clients. Voice services, AI agents added on to that. We kind of say, hey, start with the lowest hanging fruit. Make sure you're getting repeats and referrals from your database. Make sure you're staying in touch with your leads long term, because they might come back 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year later if they didn't like the last guy or chose not to do it. If you stay in touch, there's a fast path to cash kind of idea. And then start adding those other things that all the way up the ladder, as Brad said, that can help on next levels, and decide if you want to be wizard behind the curtain or not, or have somebody else do that and work your way up. And we also have a coaching program that teaches AI every single week. So for operators who want to start learning how to build some of this stuff. But I still say at the end of the day, a business owner that goes out the door and does what I call the core forever engine and actually goes into the marketplace, meets and talks with referral partners and businesses and the community and does all that stuff that sounds so old school. Grandma and grandpa used to do that when they ran their business. That is still the differentiators in 2026 and will still be the differentiators when the gal behind the counter is a robot in 2030 at Starbucks. It's still, did you meet other people, know them? So a lot of this conversation is, do you really want to divert all your attention to that? Is it a shining object like it is for us? Or is it something you enhances what you're doing and continue to do what you're doing that works to grow the business?
Yeah. We have ours that start at $4.95 a month. And, we've just kind of folded in AI. For an AI led, it would be the brand voice. So we have the root voice where we actually give their brand, or we work with them to get their own voice as well as their brand voice. Now, I know there's a lot of systems out there, of course, that just seems to ask some basic questions and they can accomplish close to the information, but we wanted to make sure that they had a really strong start for any of the marketing that they wanted to do on their own. So that was a standalone that was $14.95 on that one. But they said we have the different programs that they come in, and then as they can go up to what was mentioned earlier, then more that we do for them. Yeah. Because I know in our industry, that's probably the number one thing is everybody prefers to be outside, not so much behind a computer. So that's where we really enjoy just folding in AI to enhance and make it still very authentic with their information, how they've solved many growers' problems and carrying that through. And then we get to know them more. And it's a very close relationship we have to their marketing so that we're putting their digital voice out there strong.
Very good.
That's cool.
So how about you?
We do AI voice receptionist. So it's kind of, all it is AI, really. So starts at $250 for an introductory pricing, $250, $500, and then it goes up from there for like locations and things like that. The interesting thing that I'm hearing from kind of all of us is that we all kind of have these AI-led programs that they tend to be lower priced. I think in my mind, part of the reason of that aside, because we're not selling AI efficiency, like if it was just efficient, but it didn't have the expertise and all of that we put into them, we wouldn't be able to run those programs at those lower prices. So I think that is something that I really want to call out here. We couldn't just say, yep, I'm gonna throw out this AI system for roofers. I know nothing about roofing, but I'm gonna throw it out there and charge $500 a month for it. No, you have to have that roofing expertise, the roofing marketing expertise that you have put into the system. And that's what allows you to offer a quality system at that price point.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think a checklist or again, and check the show notes afterwards, you're going to get this. I think one way to think this through is you do have to think through your company, right? So you're going to the best way to do this is actually put a little bit of time in of all of the things in your company that you do that you're considering, you might be able to do more efficiently, save some money, with AI. And then whether you have to talk to somebody about this or not, or kind of do some learning and understanding, but you want to do it on a basic rubric, like a 2-column thing. It's called the 5 to 1, 1 to 5. But basically what you're going to do is anything that is easy to implement, give it a 5. Anything that's going to have the biggest impact on your company, those are the 2 variables that you're going to put numbers by. And I've seen people do it with 3 and 4, but that's a good starting point. Put a 5 beside it. That's now a 10, right? If something is hard to implement, they're going to have a big impact. It might be 1 on the implementation, hard, but 5 big impact. That's only a 6. Start with the 10s, then work your way to the 9s, then work with the 8s, because you're going to get momentum and the best bang for your time, energy, and buck if you can implement it fast and it has a big impact. So that would be one way to kind of think through doing that. And then, if you've got an agency that can help out putting some things in place for you and help you with some of those things and think that through, have that conversation as well.
Yep. Well, should we... I mean, I think that's a good place to wrap up. What do you guys think? Is there something that we haven't touched on in this episode that we want to kind of make sure we pull in?
I think we hit all the high points of, what is it that you're getting and what is it going to solve? And the investment piece, just like any marketing, there's a cost involved, but what's your ROI going to be if you can solve these problems by having some automated AI tools in place that you didn't have before? So I think we've covered it.
Yeah, who's managing it? Who's maintaining it as the models change?
That's what I was going to say.
Yep, all of it.
Yeah, and the ongoing cost, because there's tokens, and so it's not just put your credit card in the system and run with it. Make sure you know what your usage is, so it's not as easy.
We might do a whole show at some point on token hygiene and oh my gosh. So for another day.
And be prepared. And be prepared for change, because it's not going to stay the same.
Yeah,
that's true.
100%.
Systems, marketing systems, we have to change them as things, evolve. And AI is changing so fast.
Yeah.
Make your head spin.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it then. We'll wrap up there. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe. It helps us out a lot. If you like it, it helps other people find this program. So we appreciate all those likes and shares. So
join the Amy Insider Club as well. That's where you get the show notes. It's free, and you can ask questions. Community there, building and growing. Invite your friends, all that good stuff as well. And let's just stay. Let's keep chatting and stay current.
That's it. All right. We'll see you next week then. Thanks, everyone. Bye.